Good morning, YTPC. How you all doing? Smoking here a country gentleman 9mm churchwarden. You can't buy these. You can buy a 9mm country gentleman from Gempen. There's a link below, and you've seen that one before. And what I thought I'd try is to convert it to a 9mm churchwarden. So I bought this stem on eBay for about, I don't know, 15 francs. And it fitted pretty well perfectly. It was a small gap, as you'll see in the video I'm going to show you about my corn cobs. But I just put a little rubber grommet and a bit of gold paint and it's done. This is the only churchwarden 9mm country gentleman Missouri Meerschaum that I've seen on YTPC. Smoking in it some cupcake, Boswell's, the last of it. Well, that won't bite, of course. Boswell blends never bite, you know. But if you have a hot one, or that you like the taste of, but you struggle to control the heat, this is the way to do it. I do find it's easier to control the tempo and the draw with a churchwarden as well, and the burn rate. Anyway, went out for a lovely lunch yesterday to this restaurant up in there's actually a lookout tower up there and a restaurant, a very simple one, rustic, but the food was great and we really enjoyed it. And I took a little clip of the view, because there's a viewpoint up there. There's even a tower, you can get even higher if you wish, and it's absolutely beautiful. Take a look. Just look at this magnificent panorama. This is about half an hour from our house, and there's what they call a berg restaurant, which means a sort of hill or mountain restaurant, and it's got this most fantastic panorama. That's the town of Ash down there, and on the far hills there, that's France, just over the border. And it goes around and around and around. There's my wife. And if you look over the edge, not too far near the edge, you see it's cliffs here and a long way down there. Just glorious. We had the most marvellous lunch here as well. You know, it's not gourmet or anything, but it was very nicely done, with a lovely choice of wine by the glass. And beautiful weather today. Fantastic. We're so not used to good weather recently. And if you look very far over there on the horizon, in that little dip, you can see some Alps far away. Lovely, wouldn't it? Got to have a nice day today. It's blue sky, sun is out. It's a bit fresh in the morning, but after about 10 o'clock or so, you know, the sun does its work and it warms up. Tamper today is this Raven's Claw, which I bought a few from this chap. He takes antique tampers and copies them in pewter. I'll leave a link below. I've got a few of the ones, and Sir Walter Raleigh, which is my favourite one, came from him as well. My magnet lighter is going great. I took that with me yesterday with this check tool tamper, and it's all working perfectly, and the fuel I put in a week ago is still lighting very nicely. And I just pulled up the wick a bit because that's the reason the flame was a little bit low, and now it's absolutely perfect. Still, it's all about cobs, and I wanted to update you on my cob collection, partly because I've got a lot of new subscribers since I did my review of my cob collection about a year and a half ago, and I've added a few cobs to it. I actually thought I got about 20 cobs, but in fact I've got about 13. One is on its way to me, and I've got a couple in the other location in southern Switzerland, a country gentleman and just a regular one. Actually, my oldest cob is there, which I had from 3 years ago. Still going strong, you know. Don't smoke them individually that intensely, of course, but I figure a cob will last you 5 to 10 years for sure, depending on how often you smoke it. They're absolutely the way to start, you know, on a budget, investigating pipe smoking for sure. Well, hello everybody. Just wanted to do an update on my state of the nation for my cobs. I have shown some of these cobs in past videos, but as things go, of course, the collection develops a little bit. I think I must have about 12 or 13 cobs. There are 10 here, 2 in the other location in southern Switzerland, but I think those are regular Missouri Meerschaum cob models that are actually reflected also here. One is definitely a country gentleman, which you have to have in all locations. And there's one that I've actually ordered which hasn't arrived yet, because I always order it on the economy rate from smokingpipes.com, which always arrives, but sometimes it takes 3 or 4 weeks, especially at the moment. And that's a general, a straight general Missouri Meerschaum cob like this one, and hopefully that will turn up in the next week or so. Right, well, there's a few that are unsmoked, which I got more recently. Now I tend to favour the filtered models of Missouri Meerschaum, and of course practically everything here almost is Missouri Meerschaum, because they just do a fantastic job. And this is the Mark Twain model, and they're always 6mm filtered. I'm playing a little bit with filters, as you know from my filter videos, and this is the pot smokers have weird stuff that sometimes fits, like the Parisa filters, or this aluminium cased active charcoal filter conical design, which I thought I'd try out one time. These ones, actually, I've shown them before, and they're a bit more expensive being metal cased, but I'm just curious how those actually work, you know. We shall see. And I always wanted a Mark Twain one because I love the look of this, and you will recognize it in this one as well, the same shape. And I've got some Mark Twain tobacco, so I'm going to smoke that in that cob at some point. That's number one. Another shape that I really like is this Diplomat Fifth Avenue, which is a nice large bowl. It's actually quite a bit of capacity in this, not as big as a General or, you know, Douglas MacArthur, but fairly large. And again, here I put one of those Parisa 6mm filters. These are easy to get out, and good for one bowl, but they're a bit shorter, so they're not really, you can't, let's say, smoke two bowls with them. Very, very attractive, I think. I usually like them with a bent and a bend on the stem, but you can get straight versions, of course. Just to mention, the reason, of course, I experimented with filters because I found these ones get jammed in the stem, and they get soggy, and when you try and get them out, they break, and you have all kinds of problems. Unfortunately, I've got 3 packs of these. I don't know what to do with. But I did find one solution where I could use these. One of my YTPC said, you know what, if you take a falcon stem and you put it on a Missouri Meerschaum, it's a little bit looser for the filter, and they fit. And I did actually get a few of these falcon stems. I think they were on eBay, but I found it from this shop here. And yeah, I did notice that they were a little bit looser. So if you have got a ton of these and you're thinking, how am I going to use them up, you could get one of these stems. They're a little bit looser, it's true, and if you put a little bit of polish, pipe polish or Vaseline, something on here as a release agent, it makes them easier to get out even so. So there is kind of a solution to what to do if you've got a few packs of these to use up. But while I'm on it, as much as I would love these, and I've got a bunch of these and I will use them up, reigning supreme now, and everybody knows it, in the last few months it's been made clear, are these Savinelli 6mm active charcoal filters. They are the best there are, I think, for 6mm, and easy to get out. Never a problem so far. So those are the ones to get to make your life simple. Right, so here of course is another Diplomat Fifth Avenue, but then I've got a few of these beautiful forever stems. Now the forever stems say they fit in the filter pipe, but then look carefully, there's some small print which says that they won't actually take a filter in here. You can get one of these 3 or 4 millimeter paper filters in, so that's something. You can put some crystals in the bowl. You can even put some crystals down in the hatch here, in the shank, to kind of do a filtering job. But of course, aesthetically, these stems are just beautiful. And I've got 3 or 4 of these, but they're quite expensive, I think. I don't know, what are they, $17 or something like that. You know, you get 3 or 4 of them. Vermont Freehand does these now, if you like them, but they're very attractive, I think, and make such a difference from the yellow or the black that are commonly available. And this one I have actually smoked once or twice, and I find cobs smoke really nicely, and anyone starting, it's definitely the inexpensive way to have a go at pipe smoking. You can't go wrong. And if they're ever damaged or lost, I have never actually damaged or lost one of my corncob pipes. And in the other location, I have the very first one I bought 3 years ago, and I'm sure it's gonna make 10 years at least, minimum. And some people would agree, probably out there, who've got a 20-year-old corncob. Not if you're smoking it 3 times a day, every day, of course, then it's going to burn out much more quickly. But they give you incredible bang for the buck, you know, put it that way. This one over here, I saw this for St. Paddy's Day. It's actually called the Emerald Corncob Pipe, and in this particular case, not filter. I can put a paper filter in there, and crystals again, but I just like the look of it and thought for St. Paddy's Day that's going to be great. That's not unsmoked so far. There you go, it was a special edition. It's what they list under collections at Missouri Meerschaum. Aristocob is also very good and has the full range of models, so that's another place that you can get them. He says he checks out a little bit the quality of what he's offering, which is how he differentiates, you know. But it's basically most of what he offers are almost all from the Missouri Meerschaum. You've seen these before, these painted cobs from Milan Tobacco, from CJ, their artist. He does a beautiful job, and I put this forever stem in it now, and lovely astronomical. He's got all kinds of themes. He's added some new ones, steampunk type of designs to his collection. A few of them are sold out, so I hope he's going to restock. That's again, the shape is here an apple diplomat, I think. Rather like this, but smaller. And here in the Mark Twain design was this Appalachian Sunset model number 2, and I love this one for autumn time, Halloween time, whatever. It's got this beautiful autumnal look to it. There's CJ, he's signed it, and he always used, again, Missouri Meerschaum cobs. Fantastic thick wall on this Mark Twain. So if you've got a slightly hotter burning Virginia or whatever, that would fit well in there. And these are filtered. But he's amazing what he can do, and you see it on this next pipe, the Dracula one. You've seen that before, but this was commissioned, so on occasion when he's got time he'll do something special from a photo or something, and I asked him to do this Dracula pipe and did a fantastic job. Takes a very steady hand and very good eye to do this kind of thing, you know. Lovely. And again, this is a 6mm, of course, which comes out at Halloween time or when I'm telling ghost stories or something. Talking of which, there's an odd man out in this collection, and I'm sure you probably spotted it. And this is the Herb Booth pipe here. This is not a cob. This is actually a chunk of briar, beautiful. And a Halloween pipe, but I got the smiley version and not the angry version, and then I think I can use this anytime in autumn. And it's absolutely a fantastic, beautifully made pipe. Of course, a different price dimension. They're quite expensive, but you're really getting a lot of good briar. It's perfectly drilled. You just see it there. It's perfectly in the center, and it's 6mm. He did that specially for me. There's a Savinelli already in it, and see, it's pretty well center there. So he does an absolutely fantastic job with this Artisan pumpkin pipe. When you look at a pipe like this, you think, oh, it's a cob, but no. Unsmoked so far. And a shout out to Mike Rondeau, who got one of these first and showed it, and I was so impressed. Mike, I had to copy you. Thanks for showing us. There's HB, Herb Booth. But just with the colour and the concept here, I think it's absolutely, it's really worth it. It's maybe $250 or something like that, but it's a beautiful, beautiful creation, I think. Gonna look forward to the first smoke with that one. Again, very thick wall, so if you've got a blend that generates a bit of heat and you need a bit of insulation, this could be the one. And then of course we come to Country Gentleman, which absolutely correctly and rightly is the most popular flagship pipe of Missouri Meerschaum, with this dark and stained barrel shape with plenty of capacity. What's different about this is this comes actually from a company in Germany called Germanus. I will leave a link below. And they take Missouri Meerschaum cobs and they modify them for 9mm. You've seen this before, which is ideal for me. And the reason I show this to you again, recently I bought a stem off of eBay from China, 9mm, just to experiment with it, and indeed indeed this churchwarden stem fits pretty well, the 9mm, and lo and behold fits in this Germanus 9mm cob. There's a little bit of a gap here because I don't want to push it farther than it feels comfortable, so I may put a little rubber band around there or something to make it look a bit prettier. But there it is, you see, I have a churchwarden 9mm cob from that little discovery. I'm looking forward to smoking that. And I do like a filter, so you know, the 6mm which you normally get in Country Gentleman is good, but you know, 9mm is just got more capacity, gives you a even easier draw, so that's lovely. I was going to get actually an Elf Cobbit, but those are unfiltered, and I thought, well, actually I've got my churchwarden solution here, I think, for me. Alright, and the last one, this CJ Christmas cob. Again, I commissioned him to do me a nice Christmas cob painting, which he did with this Diplomat 5th Avenue, again filtered 6mm. So that's that. When the general cob arrives, I shall show you that, and that's where I am with my cobs right now. So I can't wait to get my general cob, which is on its way. Sometimes I buy them from corncob.com, which is Miraziris Meerschaum own website and web shop. Sometimes I get them from Aristocob, and recently I've actually started to get them from smokingpipes.com because the price is just as good, and they do an incredibly good international budget shipping fee for like $3.60 or something like. You can't beat that. Of course, you might have to wait 3 weeks for it, or a month, or whatever, but you know, it doesn't really matter. And so far, everything did eventually arrive, even despite COVID. So that's a good deal. Well, not to make the video too long this morning, got a few things I've got to do. I hope you're getting some of this beautiful sunshine where you are. I do love the song and twitter of the birds in the morning. If there's not too much urban noise going on, it's just lovely, isn't it? Anyway, you all take care of yourselves out there, and I'll see you in one of my few next videos in a few days, and then things will taper off a bit as I slow down my smoking to a stop and prepare for the inevitable in the first week of July. Cheers everyone, look after yourselves, bye bye.